R&B politics today, and today I'm going to be talking about a very serious subject, something that's a little darker. So if you're not able to handle what I'm about to say, I'll let you know beforehand, obviously. Today I'm going to be talking about the Las Vegas shooting that ended up happening very recently. The shooting occurred on October 1st, 2017. It's definitely a tragedy that us Americans will hold very closely to our hearts, especially when thinking about new gun regulations and laws and stuff that we feel that we should pass. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what went down, laws that were broken, laws that were not broken, all kinds of things like that, so you are more aware as a person and how you should feel about such a thing to end up happening to this. Well, right now, for what we know, 64-year-old Stephen Paddock, yes, he shoots and he kills 50 people, and he injures many, many more. Basically, what ended up happening was he was at 38 feet, and he was on the 38th floor, and basically here he was, and he was shooting down on this crowd of people who actually had a country concert watching Jason Aldean. The person wasn't as important, but you know what I mean. Whenever police, luckily, they were able to find him after the first couple bullets were fired, which I give an absolute salute to the police force. I so much respect for you guys. You're doing a great job. And especially with this tragedy, I don't believe you could have handled it any better. And especially a lot of people who are daunting the police force and things like that, I want to let you know right now, when somebody has a suicide mission to kill somebody, there's really absolutely nothing you can do about it. Leading me onto this is there is no objective or reason that has been found possibly for this guy to have wanted to do this. He was 64 years old and nobody had ever even thought that he would commit such a thing like this. There was no pre-signs, no pre-warnings, nothing. His brother, if you watch the interview that his brother ended up happening, he was absolutely dumbfounded by that his older brother would do such a thing. Like, he was lost for words, and I think that's definitely something you should go check out. I'll see if I can put in the description. I don't know, really, but there's really no objective or reason found for this yet. They are starting to question his girlfriend. That happened lately, but right now they haven't found anything. Now, he was found in this room dead, basically. SWAT, once they walked in and they barged in, they found a hole, a bullet through his head, and blood dripping. He killed himself, he shot himself, in order to prevent being caught. Basically, what they found on the floor around him was they found 12 semi-automatic weapons and rifles. Now, if you don't know what this is, what a semi-automatic is it's a weapon where every time I pull the trigger, it's going to shoot. If I hold the trigger down, it's only going to shoot once, and it's not going to keep shooting. An automatic assault rifle, which is very different, but still legal in the U.S., which I want to make sure you know. Many people don't even know that, but it is legal in the U.S. Whereas if I have the gun and I hold down the trigger, the bullets are going to keep coming out and keep coming out. Now, what this man actually ended up having on his gun is he had a thing called the bump stock. I might be wrong on this. I've read this somewhere. I can't remember where. I apologize for not being able to cite a source. But basically what this is, it is an attachment that you can put on a weapon to basically, it's up here, and whenever you fire, it sends a shock through it so you can pull the trigger inhumanly fast, and basically making the semi-automatic weapon almost the very same as automatic. Now, many people, as I said earlier, oh, and by the way, one thing, if you take a semi-automatic weapon, it is very true, you can take a semi-automatic weapon and nerf it and basically make it so it is fully automatic, but I will have you know, I want you to know that that is punishable for up to 10 years in prison and many fines and problems and things like that happening, so it's definitely not legal. Now, what is legal, though, is owning an automatic weapon in the United States, which I personally myself, I don't believe in. I don't feel somebody should need to own an automatic weapon. But basically, legislation passed a law in 1986, and basically what this meant is you can own an automatic weapon that was manufactured any time before then. I believe this law was passed on March 1st or 6th, somewhere around that time. And basically, in order to buy an automatic weapon, you need special permits and background checks and many different things like this. But just a reminder, this came from out of the blue. Nobody expected this to happen. One thing I also want to go through is in order to get any gun possible, or like a magnum, a pistol, a shotgun, anything, a rifle, you need to go through somewhat of a background check, and you do need to get some sort of a permit. Now, I'm not meaning a permit as in you need class training and stuff like that, which is true for a pistol, at least it is right now, as I'm aware. But basically, some states do not require a permit, some do. A majority of states do require a permit needed to buy a pistol, but anyway, off subject. So, basically, I feel what we need to do is we need to enforce these permits and test more. We need to pass legislation forcing people to do this, and we also need to raise the difficulty of the test. There was actually a video, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not going with BuzzFeed saying that they're the best source, but there was literally a test with 3 kids, one was 12, one was 10, and there was a 5-year-old or somewhere around that age, and basically the 12 and 10-year-old, they ended up passing the test and they could get a gun. So it's kind of one of those things where it's simple questions for people to answer, and it's really not that hard to get your hands on a simple gun, which I feel needs to be enforced and made more difficult. Now, there are ways to get weapons in the United States without going around the proper background checks, and that's something that definitely needs to be noticed and fixed by legislation, Congress. And basically, the first one, well, the only one that I'm aware of right now, is basically on sites such as Amazon and eBay and stuff like that. There can be a private selling between a private owner and a private buyer, and basically they can sell that gun to somebody else, and it's 100% legal. There's nothing stopping them from doing it. One thing that many people do not know about, and well, they've heard about it, but it's false and it's not something that's real, is it's called the gun show loophole, which former President Barack Obama has referred to. A gun hole loophole, basically what it says is if you end up going to a gun show, basically I can go there and I can buy a gun at a gun show without any background check, and that's been debunked, and it's been a debunked phenomenon that people have been showing. There's all kinds of videos of people trying to go to places and buy different guns, especially all around the state. I definitely emphasize, and I think that you guys should try to check them out. Last but not least, one thing I'm also going to be talking about, ISIS, they have claimed that they have done this, but let me stop, calm down. I'm not saying that ISIS did this. This will not be the first time that ISIS will claim that they've done something that they had absolutely no relation to. ISIS, most likely, what I believe, I do not think they had any relation to such a thing. Nobody knew about it. I don't think a radical group could know a thing about it. Well, if there's any information that you want me to know, make sure you leave it down below in the comments. I appreciate you guys watching this video. I hope I made you more aware of any situation or anything of such. If you have any questions or you have any further topics that you want me to review and go over, make sure you let me know in the comments as well. Do me a big favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in a future video. Peace.